Sabaho everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do an unboxing and initial impressions of the Gear S3 Frontier Edition, specifically with LTE. We're going to compare it to the Huawei Watch, my daily driver watch currently. So let's go ahead and check it out. Here is the box, Samsung Gear S3. I'm not sure why we have a plastic on this. We'll take that out. Nice, shiny. This is the LTE model. I did pick this up on T-Mobile, so there's a T-Mobile AT&T variant of this, and the SIM card's already built into the unit itself. And then we just have the case. Let's go ahead and open it up. And here we are. The watch is already embedded in here. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's already activated. So the only thing I need to do is turn it on, set it up. Here is the watch. This is a rubberized nice. It's not very hard rubberized rubber, but it's actually pretty nice. It should feel pretty good on the hand. The watch does have a little bit of weight. Again, this is the LTE model of Frontier Edition. The regular Classic Edition has more of a button style as opposed to these nice little flush textured buttons on the side. Now we do have the bezel here. The bezel still spins and we're going to be using that to interface. We have a back button and a home power button. It should start powering on. We'll see Gear S3. We'll remove the screen protector or the screen label and put this down on the table right here. We have USB Type A to micro USB cable to charge, an extra strap. That looks like the small strap. It does charge via wireless conductive charging, so no pins here to worry about. That's one of my main concerns that I had when I had the Fit 2. So it sits here, and unfortunately this is not going to be one of those ones that you can use for your device and for the watch. This is only rated at 5 volts at 700 milliamps. So I went ahead and downloaded the Gear Manager on my Pixel device. This is a Verizon Pixel device. The main benefit here is that this watch has its own SIM card. So it has its own data plan, talk, text. It says connect to Gear. It says allow. We're going to allow it to basically search. It's going to try to look for it. They're searching for each other. Now we should be able to see Gear S3 AA2, and here it is. I'll select it, and they're going to connect to each other. I want to confirm, I want to confirm. So now they're both connected. Here, it doesn't have all applications turned on, but by default, phone, messaging, Google Apps, Gmail, clock, and calendar. So we'll keep it as default for now, and then we'll say setup is complete. And before we leave too far, so right out of the box, it says 5 updates are available. We can check that out. We have 84% for battery. We have 2.4 gigabytes of storage left out of the 4 gigabytes, so 1.6 gigs free out of the 4. So out of the box, we already lost 2.4 gigs. Yeah, great, Samsung. 349 megabytes used, and then we only have 256 megabytes free. So it's one of those things that you got to be aware of. Out of the box, even though it says it has 4 gigs, it only really has 1.6. First thing it says, it wants us to try the bezel, so I'm going to go ahead and spin the bezel. It gives us the ability to turn around and see in different events. So here it says press go back, and then we can swipe from the top to get the notification size, swipe from the bottom and put it away. And then this is our app drawer, which if we click it, takes us into the apps, and then we'll be able to click it again to go back. So nearly there, covering the watch, you can do that. That's it. And that's pretty much it. You're all done. So overall, very quick, very easy setup. As we mentioned before, we have, now we do have Samsung Pay, we do have GPS. This is a 1.3-inch display. We have 280 milliamp battery. We have 4 gigabytes of internal storage. Apparently only 1.6 of it is available. We have 768 megabytes of RAM with about 256 of that available. It does have the display on all the time. This is the default watch face that we have on. As you can see here, it's by 6:45 in the morning for me. And pressing here, we have the app drawer. We have the ability of spinning. Now, you spin one round. If you go all the way, it'll take you to the next page. Keep spinning, takes you to the third page. These are the installed ones. You can definitely download more. And let's go back to the main page here. First one, we have the Recents app, Messages, Phone, S-Health, Contacts. Samsung Pay is installed. Weather information, music player, settings, of course. We have the style. We have the sound and vibration. We have the device information, display, call, messages, connections, and security. Airplane mode, if you want to turn that on, data usage, and then location services is off. Mobile data is on. It says, I want to see if I can turn on here. And connected to 3G versus as well as LTE, network operator, of course, access point names. Let's go back all the way home. We'll swipe back from the top. We have 4G LTE, half bar signal, 82% battery, connected remotely to T-Mobile. We have music player, missed calls, and of course we have the airplane mode, sound profile, and it takes us directly into here. I can set that up if I want. Swiping from the right, we get our notifications. So this was the new voicemail that I just received. It's great for you to join T-Mobile. Questions, click here. Let's see if I can interact with this text. And then let's say if I want to reply, gives us the ability to use S-Voice, pre-built in text, I don't know, all of that stuff. And then of course the keyboard, we can go back. You can switch back. Let's press and hold. And then we have the different watches here. This is where you can stylize different ones, different information. Can we get more from here? This will be interesting. Actually, yes, you can download directly from here. Show on phone, or we can start downloading directly. So we have this one. Let's go ahead and download this one. I want to see it. This is swiping on the right side gives you access to these widgets. This is very familiar if you've used the Gear Manager, if you've used the Gear S2 before, which I've done a review for you guys here. So swiping to the right, we have the weather. We can add a city, contacts, obviously create a reminder, car oil change. This was a reminder appointment that I had today. So it did sync directly with the phone for that split second that I had it on. And of course, here we have 500, this is our step pedometer, steps. Here we have inclination and feet. We haven't done anything. We haven't moved. News briefing. Music application. This is on the device or on the Gear app if you want to be able to use it. It does have the ability of streaming audio directly from online services such as Spotify, but you can also play music directly. So you notice it did switch here to the watch, so now it's using internal storage. Let's see if there's any song. I can raise the volume here. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, let's go back. Swiping up to the right, we can add additional widgets. We have an alarm one. We have app shortcuts, of course, for different application contacts. More contacts, and here we have the S Health one. This is just another one from S Health. I guess we have a few from the S Health application for more information. And then here we have the water and coffee counter, which I think came through. The calendar I like definitely very much. Let's go ahead and add that one. Pressing and holding the top button gives us access to Samsung Pay. Experience a safe and simple payment service. Swipe to the right, press and hold the back key. Rotate the bezels, of course, touch the screen to pay, and then put it next to the reader. Now this does feature NFC and MST, so you're able to use the same system or payment system that you're able to use on your Gear device or your Galaxy devices. And then here it says start using Samsung Pay. Install the Samsung Pay on your in your Samsung Gear app. Let's go ahead and say OK. They both look very, very nice. The Huawei Watch has a very nice option here. Now, the S3 here does have Corning Gorilla S Plus, Glass S Plus, which is supposed to be very well resistant. This is IP68 rated for dust and water resistance, as well as taking a few bumps. And overall, just very, very nice design. Very good as far as the option here. We have the sensors, the heart rate sensors at the bottom. Now the SIM card came pre-installed for me, so I don't have the ability of replacing it, but we do have the way of replacing the bands. So by just pressing here and removing it, you notice here, we can take that out. On the arm, you can definitely see it's a bigger footprint. It is a bigger watch. I do have the large band. Now I do have the metallic band that came with the watch, with the Huawei Watch. I didn't replace it, but the main benefit here, essentially, obviously, you're getting two different watches, different styles. This is smaller. Now, as far as thickness, yes, the S3 Frontier is definitely thicker, wider, bigger. Screen size, I think it's about the same footprint, but I do like the design that it's a little bit more ruggedized as opposed to this nice, very, very elegant look, which I think that's 90% of the reasons why I keep using this, and I've had so many compliments on the Huawei Watch. Initial impressions of the watch, it feels very nice. On the hand, it actually feels a little bit lighter than the Huawei Watch. So if you have the Huawei Watch that has the metal band like this one, it actually is a little bit lighter in weight. But as far as footprint, it's a little bit wider and a little bit thicker. The Samsung Pay setup, as I was showing you guys with the setup, there was a little bit of a hiccup. You had to download Samsung Pay, the full app, directly on your phone, set it up, and then be able to add the card to it. And I did set that up, so it works very nice now. As I'm really excited about checking this out. We have more RAM than we have on the Huawei Watch. We have a speakerphone, a microphone. You can send and receive text messages, send and receive calls. Also have it paired up with your device via Bluetooth to work as a smartwatch. So that's also another thing. A lot of customized faces, a lot of applications. Samsung's had a few years to be able to work up this system. And the main thing I want to mention to you guys, with this being the Frontier edition, there is a classic edition also, which is the Gear S3, which I felt like it was a little bit more normal, and it looked a lot closer to this one and not as ruggedized. Now this one is IP68 rated, so make sure that you're aware of that part. We have 768 megs of RAM, 4 gigs of internal storage with 1.6 available to us to use. We also have obviously Wi-Fi, BGNN, LTE, NFC, MST for Samsung Pay. A lot of different functionalities that you have in a watch that's just built in. So I'm very excited to check it out. I'm going to be using this as my main watch for about a week now. I'm going to put this one aside for some time just to see how can I survive using just the Gear S3, and can it really do all the things that I've wanted to do with my Huawei Watch and then some. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this watch, if there's anything specific you'd like me to cover. But other than that, thank you for the support, like and subscribe as usual, and I will see you guys in the next one.